Hello student, welcome to the second part of the video, chapter 6, Charles and Lucy marry. In the previous video, we have done half chapter. Now let us start with the second part. Let us recall what we have done in the previous video. Now Charles and Lucy has been married and Dr. Manet went into the depression, and he again went into the stage when what he was doing in the prison, he was making ladies' shoes there. So he again made the shoes and he again went into the depression. Now let us start. But when when Laurie came to meet Dr. Manet, he didn't bother about Laurie because both are friends. So he didn't bother about Laurie. Now Laurie was very worried about the Dr. Manet's health. So he talked to Dr. Manet. But the doctor worked on as if he had not heard. When Mr. Laurie talked to Dr. Manet, that time doctor behaved that he hasn't heard anything what Mr. Laurie has said. Then next day was exactly the same. The day after that was again the same. He took, and when Mr. Laurie came one day, second day, it was a matter of the fact that he was in every day he was in the state of depression. He took any food and drink given to him, but he did not stop working. He hadn't take enough food and enough drink to survive, and he didn't stop working. Continuously, he was working on his shoe bench. In the end, Miss Frost and Mr. Laurie took turn watching over him, and they both were Miss Frost and Mr. Laurie was very worried about the health of Dr. Manick. One evening, Mr. Laurie tried to get him to go for a walk with him. And on the next evening, Mr. Laurie wanted that Dr. Manet would go for a walk with him. Will you come out with me, Dr. Manet? And Mr. Laurie asked from Dr. Manet, will he be fine with joining Mr. Laurie in the evening walk? It is a beautiful night out. Yes, for a walk. But the doctor didn't seem to understand. And doctor was continuously in the state of working. He was making shoes. He didn't understand what Mr. Laurie has said. After the ninth day, now it is a matter of the 9 days that he was continuously working on his shoe bench of this disturbing behavior. Dr. Manet was thinner than ever. Now he get so much thin because he hadn't take so much food and drink. Mr. Laurie was exhausted, and Mr. Laurie was exhausted mean when he was tired of talking with Dr. Manet. There is no use because he is not stage of listening. I knew he had to do something. Now it is a time to do something by Mr. Laurie to save his friend. He had watched his friend sink deeper into this weakened state for days, and he had come to the conclusion that he had to separate the doctor from his bench and tools. Now what he has to do, Mr. Laurie, he he now come to the conclusion that he has to separate the bench, that tools from Dr. Manet. It was a risk, but it was a risk. If we separate these tools and bench from Dr. Manet, that time maybe he go to more depression, or maybe he will come back to his life. There are two stages. They had given him a strange kind of comfort because when he was in a stage of depression, that time these tools and bench given him some kind of comfort. But they were also a reminder of those terrible days in prison. But they also, on the second side, these tools and benches were, they are the reminder. They recall the doctor, that prison days that he has spent in the Bastille. He had to do something quickly before Lucy and Charles returned from their honeymoon, because Lucy didn't know the stage of his mental stage of his father. So Mr. Laurie has to do something when Dr. Manet's daughter and his son-in-law will return from their honeymoon. He sat in an armchair next to the doctor and touched his arm gently. Now he sat just near to the doctor and he touched his arm very gently. Dr. Manet, I need your advice. Here, Mr. Lorry uh, told Dr. Manet that he needed his advice. It is a very dear friend of mine. Now he make a story that he needed advice for his dear friend and for the sake of his daughter. Now his friend also has a daughter. The doctor stopped working for the first time in 9 days, and it is and from the 9 days, it is the first time that doctor stopped working and wanted to listen what Mr. Lorry said. Go on. It is a case of an old shock. Now here he described the story. Mr. Lorry described the story of his friend, that his old friend was in a shock, old shock. The dear friend concerned seems to improve and then relapses. And he said, my dear friend sometimes improved and then again relapses to that stage of his old things. This last time had been some troubling. The doctor seemed curiously interested. Now the doctor seemed very curiously, very keen to know everything, very interested. How long it lasted? Why the doctor was very curiously listening all the things? Because it was an exact profession. It was a main occupation of the doctor, because by profession he was a doctor and he always solved the problem of his patient, or he always solved the problem of his friends. How long has it lasted? Now the doctor asked that question, how long has been it lasted? And this picture shows that the stage of Dr. Manet and Miss Pross here, Mr. Lorry on the very left side, and pretty Lucy here. And in the second picture, Charles and Lucy has been shown. 9 days and 9 nights. And Mr. Lorry replied that it is a matter of fact from 9 days and night. And how does this illness show itself? And he, doctor, asked how he has known and how this illness shows by itself. In an old occupation to which he relapses when something distresses him. And Mr. Lorry is saying it was an old occupation. It was a talk of when he was in the state of depression. That time he went into the old occupation. A look of anxiety appeared on the doctor's face. Anxiety means stress. When he heard this thing, that time doctor feel very stressful, and that stress shown on his face. You spoke of his daughter. Does she knows of his relapses? And here doctor asked from Mr. Lorry, have he spoke to his daughter about this state of mind, and she knows about everything? No, it has been kept from her. And Mr. Lorry is saying that it is a secret from his daughter. The doctor took Mr. Lorry's hand, and here, because he was very sympathetic, because he loved his daughter, also loved his daughter very much, so he took Mr. Lorry's hand. That was very kind of you, very thoughtful. And doctor was very happy that he was very concerned about his friend, and he said to Mr. Lorry that you are very kind. It was very thoughtful that you are very concerned about your friend. I am concerned about the future. And here Mr. Lorry is saying that he was very concerned about the future, Dr. Manet. I don't know what to do. I'm simply a man of business, so I am asking your advice. And here Mr. Lorry is saying that he was only a man of business. He didn't know what to do with the person, and he needed the doctor advice. The doctor finally put down the shoes, and it is the first time that he put down his shoes and wanted to help Mr. Lorry. And I shall offer it willingly. He had returned to a sensible stage. His physician concern for a patient has re-emerged. Now he again come to the sensible state of mind, because by profession he was a physician, he was a doctor, and his concern for the patient now re-emerged, now started for his daughter's sake, you see, added Mr. Lorry, of course. Now he asked Mr. Lorry that you wanted for the daughter's sake that your friend will be fine. I feel that if I could destroy the tools of this occupation, the memory of the shock that nearly destroyed him may eventually fade. Now here Mr. Lorry asked from doctor that he wanted to destroy the tools of the occupation uh, that recalls that was in the state of depression. But there are two sides. He was worried uh, about his friend, that if he destroyed the tools that time, maybe he he may be again sent into the more stage of depression, or he may be fine, but I must have your approval as a doctor. And he need his advice, his approval as a doctor, that he was doing right or wrong. What is this occupation? Now the doctor asked, what is the occupation of your friend? M means embarrassment. It is that of carpenter. Now he said that it is the work of the carpenter. Carpenter, you know, those who made furnitures. Yes, he make things of wood. Well, whatever it is, you must get rid of these tools. Now the doctor gave the approval that you have to destroy the tools of your friend, but take them away when he is not there. And he advised, that Dr. Manet advised Mr. Lorry, you just take all these tools not in front of your friend, but when he was away from you, away from his tools, that time you take all these tools from, or separate these tools from your friend. He is most probably dependent on them in some way. And here the doctor is saying, maybe he probably, it is a possibility that he is dependent on all these tools. Mr. Lorry left that night, relieved and happier than he had been for some time. Now Mr. Lorry had left that night, and he feel very relaxed and happy, because now he get the solution of his problem. For the next 3 days, Dr. Manet was perfectly well. And for the next 3 days, Dr. Manet was very fine. Miss Frost and Mr. Lorry encouraged him to accept Lucy's invitation to join her and Charles in Scotland. Here, Dr. Manet's daughter Lucy and his son-in-law Charles has given him invitation to join both of them in the Scotland. He will stay with them, and finally he agreed, and they sent him off. And he finally, Dr. Manet finally agreed that invitation of his daughter, and Miss Frost and Mr. Lorry sent him off. On the night of the day he left, on the same night when he left, Dr. Manet left, Mr. Lorry took a saw and an axe he took that saw and an axe just to destroy all the tools and these benches of the Dr. Manet that taken him into the stage of depression, with Miss Frost. And Miss Frost also accompanied Mr. Lorry, holding a candle to light the work. They went to Dr. Manet's room like two thieves. Now they worked like two thieves. They went into the Dr. Manet's room in the night. They destroyed the shoemaker's bench. Now they destroyed the bench of the shoemakers and buried the tools, and they just dig a hole, and they buried all the tools in that hole at the bottom of the garden. When the young couple returned from their honeymoon, so had Sidney Carton returned from his visit to Paris. On the one hand, the couple returned back from their honeymoon. On the second hand, Sidney Carton returned back from his visit to Paris, as ragged and untidy as usual. Ragged means those who have the torn clothes, and untidy as usual. He was the first person to visit them and very keen to talk to Charles alone. And he was the first visitor who met Charles and Lucy, and he was very keen, means interested, to talk to Charles alone. And he wanted to talk to Charles alone. Mr. Darnay, I hope we might be friends. Here Sidney Carton told Charles that they might be friends. Charles looked at him with surprise, and Charles just very surprised after hearing that, because in the previous days they both were friends. But we already are, I hope. Here Charles just replied that he think that they were best friends, or they were not best friends, they were friends. He hoped. It is good of you to say so. Now, Carton said that he is very fine that he said so, but I have not forgotten how badly I behaved the first time we talked. And here Sydney replied that he hadn't forgotten when they first met and he behaved very badly. That was a long time ago. And Charles said it was the talk of a very long time. I hope you can forget about it. I know I am a useless dog. Here, Sydney Carton said to Charles that maybe he forgot all the things and he called himself a useless dog who has never done any good and never will. And he said he never done anything good for anyone. Here is the lack of self-confidence in Sydney Carton. I don't know that you never will. And here Charles said he didn't know that he never will done anything good for anyone. You must take my words for it, but I should like to be regarded as a friend, to be able to come here and be a part of the furniture. And here Sydney Carton said that he wanted to be the part of his family. He wanted to visit their family. It would give me great pleasure. And he said it would give me pleasure if he is able to come to their house. Charles took Carton's hand and smiled politely. And here Charles take the hand of the carton in his hand and smiled politely. You are always welcome, dear. And he just gave the approval to the Sydney Carton that he always welcomed here. Carton seemed pleased by Darnay's courtesy. Courtesy, when someone is very courtesy means when someone is very polite, showing very polite behavior to others. Here, Carton is very pleased, very happy with the politeness of the Don. They shook hand and he left. Now they both shook hand and Carton left from there. When he had gone, Charles told the others of his conversation with Carton. When Carton had gone, that time Charles told the other persons in his conversation, but he spoke of him in a way that contradicted the kindness he had shown him only minute before. Now, when he talked the others, that time it shows a contradictory that he may not be in favor of the Sydney Carton. Lucy was very upset. After hearing the conversation with the others, Lucy was very upset because both contradict. When Charles talked to the carton, he was very kind, and when he doing the conversation with other people, that time he was very harsh with the carton. And Lucy, after hearing all this, Lucy was very upset. Though she said nothing until they were alone, and though she hasn't said anything to the Charles up to then when they were alone. Charles noticed that she was very quiet, and Charles noticed that Lucy was very quiet. What's wrong, Lucy? And he knew that something went wrong with Lucy. Lucy placed her hand gently on his chest and hesitated before speaking. And Lucy just put his hand on his on Carton's chest, and she was feeling hesitated while talking with the Charles. I think, Charles, that you spoke ill of Mr. Carton tonight. And she said to Lucy tell to Charles that he spoke very ill and he was very harsh with Mr. Carton when he tonight. Did I? Said Charles, taken aback, and Charles was very surprised and he asked, Did I? I would ask you, my dearest, to be more generous towards the poor man. And he replied to the Lucy that, my dearest, I told you to be kind towards the poor man. He is an unfortunate soul who needs a friend. And here he again told Lucy that he was Sydney Carton was an unfortunate soul and he needs a friend. I am sorry if I have been unfair. And he just apologized. Charles apologized from Lucy if he be unfair with Mr. Carter. I never really thought badly of him. And he replied that he never, by heart, he never thought badly of him. Oh, my dearest, remember how strong we are in our happiness. And here Charles told Lucy that they were very strong in their happiness when they are two, when they are both are understand each other, because we have each other, and how weak he is in his misery and loneliness. And here he told Lucy that how weak and how pity, and he's saying he feels very pity, and when he in a stage of loneliness. He feels very pity for his loneliness. Charles held Lucy tightly to him, and Charles hold Lucy very tightly. I will remember it as long as I live. And he always remember the courtesy of the Sydney Carton that he has shown that time. Uh, and he said, I will always remember his courtesy. Thank you, students. That's all in this video. Now we have completed the chapter 6. Soon I will come with the next video with the chapter number 7. Thank you so much. Have a nice day ahead.